Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Adu. The news is also live on Kasmi 107.1 FM and across the world at 3news.com. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Election Security Task Force in a crunch meeting with the Electoral Commission and political party reps ahead of September 2 Akwatia by-election. We are live at the police headquarters. Also coming up, half-year report by Office of Special Prosecutor provides details of alleged role played by former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in the award of shoddy contracts. And much later on the program, danger looms along a section of the Tema-Accra rail line as encroachment by private individuals poses significant risk to commuters. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Now, the Election Security Task Force is in a closed-door high-level meeting with political parties to deliberate on election-related violence and preparations for the upcoming parliamentary by-election in the Akwatia constituency. The Inspector General of Police, Christian Tatayono, says the meeting will serve as a platform to discuss both security and operational arrangement for the polls, as well as the preparedness of the Electoral Commission. The EC has slated Tuesday, the 2nd of September 2025 for the conduct of the Akwatia constituency parliamentary by-election following the demise of the Member of Parliament for the area, Ernest Kumi. And we'll be crossing over to our correspondent who is monitoring the meeting very shortly. But here is the IGP speaking earlier.
Upcoming by-elections. What we want to say is that we can attend this meeting. We can also see some of you even give us the idea that we have to meet. We have done before the presidential elections that we have to meet the political parties, which we have got to do that. But suggestions from your end also help us a lot to have this meeting earlier than we tend to do ahead of us. So we thank you for your contributions for this meeting. And then it is all planning towards this application. We want to make sure that this by-elections will be one of the most successful by-elections in the country. So this meeting call you the political parties who will be taking part in the by-elections. And also we have brought EC because they are the people who conduct the elections. And so there are things that you may like to ask. There are things that you have some suggestions you want to make. There are things that you feel that you have to let all of us know so that we prepare the grounds for the elections. That's why the EC is also here. Not like the do's and don'ts, the conditions we have to follow. They are also here so that if there's any political party that feels that there's something that has to be done that is not yet done, we all put our heads together to make sure that those things are done.
And you have the IGP, Christian Tatayono, and still on security matters, the Ghana Police Service, in its ongoing investigation into the Mpoho Gold Shop robbery case, has recovered weapons, ammunitions, clothing items, and other exhibits linked to the case. As part of intensified anti-robbery patrols, officers from the Kontinase district in the Ashanti region intercepted a suspicious white Toyota Sienna near the Putuoja Bekwai Road. Two male occupants of the vehicle fled into the bush upon seeing the approaching police patrol team. A thorough search of the vehicle uncovered an AK-47 assault rifle, a locally manufactured firearm, two AK-47 magazines loaded with 30 rounds of ammunition each, additional pockets of ammunition, cowrie shells, a Huawei smartphone, identity document, and some clothing items. Also, further examination of the recovered exhibits against the CCTV footages of the Mpoho robbery revealed a striking resemblance between the clothing items hooded tops and the Wellington boots that were used during the robbery. The police, in a statement, stressed the recovery of these items marks a significant step in the ongoing investigation and manhunt for suspects. Let's bring you some more. And unlawful padding of approved payment, influencing procurement process and unlawful payment in huge sums. These and more are the allegations former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to answer to as the OSP continues its pursuit and extradition into the country. The special prosecutor has for the first time reviewed details of Mr. Ofori-Atta's involvement in ongoing corruption cases. The former finance minister has been declared wanted with ongoing extradition efforts underway for his return. This afternoon, we're learning some of the dealings. Let me take you through some of them. That he directly influenced the procurement to obtain unfair advantage to SML in revenue assurance in the downstream petroleum sector, upstream petroleum production, and minerals and metals resources value chain. Again, Mr. Ofori-Atta allegedly also directly influenced a procurement to obtain unfair advantage in contractors and minerals for the National Cathedral Project of Ghana and unlawfully approved payment for such contractors. The OSP is also accusing the former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta of unlawfully paddling approved payment in respect of the termination of a distribution, loss reduction and associated network improvement project contract between the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited and Beijing Xiao Chen Technology. The OSP again provided that update in its half-year report, saying that Mr. Ofori-Atta unlawfully approved payment in contract awarded to Service Ghana Auto Group Limited for purchases and after-sales service and maintenance of some 307 ambulances for the National Ambulance Service of Ghana. And so those are the details from the half-year report of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Of course, we'll bring you some more updates as and when we get them, and of course analysis later. Let's go to Parliament now, where the Public Accounts Committee is looking into the audited accounts of some agencies under the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization. The Auditor General, we are told, has cited the Cybersecurity Authority for making payments totaling 31,263 to two former officers who had resigned from the agency. The committee has ordered the Director of Finance at the National Information Technology Agency as well, NITA, to appear over some unrecovered funds totaling $6 million from a private firm, Smart Infraco Limited. Let's bring you some excerpts of the Public Accounts Committee hearing still ongoing.
From the records I have inherited, the project was done in 2020, even though the audit was started in 2020, even though the audit is in 2024. That is the information I inherited.
Honorable Minister, we'll flag this one. This is something that the committee will follow all the way to the Attorney General. Read paragraph 1473. We recommended that the Chief Director should recover the total amount, 6.7 million Ghana cedis, from the Head of Finance.
It's Head of Finance here.
You are the Head of Finance, right? Sir, who is the Head of Finance?
The Ministry Head of Finance.
Ministry Head of Finance, where is he?
It's not here.
He too is not here.
Yeah.
Should recover from the Head of Finance and same paid into the Auditor General's recovery account at Bank of Ghana, failing which the Chief Director should pay. Did you guys read this report before coming here?
Madam Chair, we did, and I just wanted to throw more light into it. I think when we came, when my minister took over, he went through all these documents. And when you saw the report, it was based on the report and the recommendations. And after his engagement with the company, trying to get them to at least commit or to start payment, and nothing like that was done. He referred the entire contract to AG for them to advise him as a minister as to what step to take. And so, as we speak, my minister is waiting for the response from the AG. And so I entirely agree with you and all the recommendations being suggested here, that it is same, how do I put it? That based on same, fundings that the minister said that this whole contract, including all these fundings, must be referred to AG for AG to advise. And so as we speak, we are waiting for the AG's response so that the minister can take the next step. Thank you.
Chairman, at this point, we are in your hands, so.
Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Edem Agben.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
The last time I checked, I was a man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. Mr. Chairman, going through the audit reports and the responses being provided by the Deputy Minister, respectfully, we are not convinced. I am not convinced because the Deputy Minister is asking us to wait for AG's advice. But we are working with the Auditor General's report. And before they came, they read the report. It is clearly stated here that the Chief Director should recover this money from the head of finance. And so I don't even think that the ministry and the agencies took the committee serious, because they would have come with the head of finance from the ministry. So respectfully, we need to flag this and get the Chief Director and the head of finance to come and answer to the committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Chair, I just want to get something right here. I think my honorable colleague got me
Honorable Minister.
I did not suggest to the committee that we should wait for the AG's report. I am only updating the committee as to what
Honorable
the minister.
Honorable Minister, I just want to stop you right there. These things happened, started from 2020 up to 2024. You were not there. If you wanted to help, you should have brought the head of finance.
And you had that interaction at the Public Accounts Committee. And of course, we'll bring you more as the sittings continue later today. The Ministry of Health has set up a committee to investigate alleged assault of health worker at the Ridge Hospital. According to the Health Minister, Minta Kando, says the committee will present its report in 7 days. A viral video which captured a clash between a relative of an accident victim and health workers at the hospital's emergency department over alleged delays in care has sparked public concern. The incident has since been condemned by the Ministry of Health. The Sector Minister, Kwabena Minta Kando, said a thorough investigation will be conducted to unravel the fact of the matter and ensure appropriate action is taken. He also gave assurance that while speaking to the media on the sidelines of a visit by officials from the German government.
Interacted with the health workers. One of the reasons why I went there was to reassure them of our commitment and support, to energize them to go back to their wards and work. Because I realized that they were down-spirited and they were demoralized. And so I had to quickly go there and then encourage them to do more, to work more and assure them of a thorough investigation into the matter. So after my visit, we have constituted a committee to investigate the matter within a week, and then the law takes its own course. Yeah. Having only done a release, yesterday I was there personally and interacted with the health workers. One of the reasons why I went there was to reassure them of our commitment and support, to energize them to go back to their wards and work. Because I realized that they were down-spirited and they were demoralized. And so I had to quickly go there and then encourage them to do more, to work more and assure them of a thorough investigation into the matter. So after my visit, we have constituted a committee to investigate the matter within a week, and then the law takes its own course. I haven't only done it. Yesterday I was there personally and interacted with the health workers. One of the reasons why I went there was to reassure them of our commitment and support, to energize them to go back to their wards and work. Because I realized that they were down-spirited and they were demoralized. And so I had to quickly go there and then encourage them to do more. To work more and assure them of a thorough investigation into the matter. So.
And I heard that the Health Minister, Kwabena Minta Akando, some 16 minutes past the hour of 12. When we come back, I'll tell you more about what's happening along a section of the Tema Accra Railway line. Don't go away.
Ghana. It's a new year and Bills Microcredit is here to support your dreams. If you're not working but want to start a business, don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Need more capital? Or are you a salary worker looking for extra funds? Bills offers fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no SUSI savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. Call Bills Microcredit today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390 and get started. Bills is licensed and regulated by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
And you're still here on the Medani's on 3FM 92.7. Now, an amount of 315,000 Ghana cedis has been donated to the families of the fallen 3-flight crew by the Ghana Air Force and the Military High Command. This follows their burial on the 15th of August 2025. The Ghana Air Force says the donations are from various well-wishers and companies which wanted to support the bereaved families. Let's speak to my colleague Judith Brown, who is covering this for us. Judith, what more can you tell us?
Right, Beatrice, and so yes, 315,000 has been donated. It was divided in 9 equal parts, and so a part going to the spouses, a part going to the parents of the bereaved, as well as the extended family, and so 3 parts for each family, and so 9 equal parts was divided. That money was divided into, and so according to the Military High Command, they say that this is from well-wishers and several companies who wanted to donate, and so they're still receiving more donations, and as and when more donations come in, they would be given to the bereaved families as well. They also say that the presidency will organize a separate donation service where they're going to be donating an undisclosed amount to the bereaved families, and so that's what's currently happening. But of course, the Chief of Defense Staff here at the Military High Command, in his speech while expressing his condolences to the families, explained the need for that's the Military High Command and the Air Forces as well, to ensure that they have a child care support for situations like this. And so he says that this is something that was unexpected, but of course, now that it has happened, it raises questions about whether or not they should, of course, create a child care fund for such situations so that it can cater for the children of families who, if they are able to face such a situation ever again. And so this is really what's happening here at the Air Force here at America.
Thank you very much. Judith Brown is my colleague covering that event for us. Now, danger looms along a section of the Temakara rail line where heavy encroachment by private and corporate entities is posing significant risks. A bridge beneath the railway is heavily obstructed, struggling to manage the flow of water. This blockage has raised fears that the bridge could collapse, potentially endangering the rail line, which remains in active use. The Minister for Transport, Joseph Nipe, accompanied by officials from the Tema West Assembly, visited the site to assess the extent of the encroachment. Let's hear exactly what transpired.
Well,
like I earlier on said, we as a ministry during the weekend saw on social media a post that was circulating, showcasing the dangers that were here where we are standing there under. And apparently we have realized that the construction of this church and the construction of a drain train, by Bonavista, the drain constructed by Bonavista is part of the problem that keeps a build-up of water underneath here. And because the water cannot flow, it is circulating under and eroding the under of the bridge we are standing on top. And so the under of the bridge is now some vacuum there, and we are afraid that one day the bridge might give in and collapse. This rail line is operating on daily basis and it carries goods, passengers and goods. So we are responding to that call and getting to find solutions to stop it. Like I said, we are inviting the church, we are inviting Bonavista, we are inviting other people up there tomorrow at 10 o'clock in our offices to discuss how we will all put a stop to the kind of construction and the works that has been created here. Said that the Ministries of Works and Housing, Roads and Highways, and Ministry of Transport will see how we'll build retaining walls, dredge the place, and allow water to flow freely into the sea. So
Minister,
we are just here.
Do you have plans of demolishing some of these structures posing danger?
Already we are working on a broader plan. We are working with the national security to ensure that we clear all encroachers on our lands. After that, we will get the Lands Commission to help us put titles to all the Railway Development Authority lands, such that we will secure them. We are envisaging to expand or create the inner light rail systems for our people. If we do not have the land, we will not be able to embark on such projects. So the plan is that we will work with national security. Whoever has encroached on our land, we will claim titles to them. And again, we will create the space for future expansion of our rail system.
Crystal.
And you had the Transport Minister, Joseph Nikpe. Let's cross over to the police headquarters because one of the executives of the MPP, Nana B, is currently addressing the press.
Or even any ordinary member is coming to Akwatia with the mindset of what happened to Honorable Howard Kumsin and my deputy. Clearly, the person is going to protect himself. And I've kept saying this, that for the new patriotic party, we are going to protect ourselves. And self-protection is well stated within the laws of this country. So the Ghana police should give us that confidence that they have dealt with the Ablekumanov issue. We have 2 more weeks to go. And I think that we still have a lot of time for them to make some decisive arrest and put these hoodlums, these thugs, before the law court. We mentioned that. Then again, the police also assured us that they are going to deploy over 5,000 men and they do not need the services of the military. This is purely a police matter. And they also gave us that assurance that this is going to be a Ghana police matter and we do not want the intervention of the military. So largely, the IGP says that he is going to make sure that this is going to be one of the most peaceful by-elections we've had in this country. But our concerns are still the fact that we have had some people who caused some mayhem in Ablekumanov. They are still walking free. They must make some arrests and they must put these guys before the law court. So we said that.
Henry, so we know that you've seen the performance of the IGP and the police service in dealing with elections. Ablekumanov is an instance. How confident are you that the concerns you're raising will be addressed in the next 2 weeks before the elections?
Yeah, I think they can do so. Look, recently there were some few guys who made some comments on social media. The police, in their view, thought that it was a threat to our peace. They effected arrest. And as I speak, yesterday, they were released. So we also pointed this out to Ghana police, that if you can make such quick arrest, how is it difficult for you to arrest people who've caused these problems over a month ago? But again, they assured us that they are going to have some arrest and they are going to make sure that they instill the confidence that is needed for us to go into the Akwatia by-elections. So that is what they have said. But we have also mentioned it to them that as we speak, we lack that requisite confidence in the Ghana police, especially because of what happened in Ablekuma, where the people are, the images are all over, the people are seen. For me, my deputy, he had almost about 20 guys on him. The videos is all over, there are images all over. So we also pointed this out to the Ghana police.
All right, sure. Thank you.
Yes.
And you had the national organizer of the opposition NPP, Henry Nana Boakye, speaking to the media after that interaction with the National Election Task Force, the security task force there, headed by the IGP. And Noble Crosby-Annan is my colleague there. I did promise you that we'll be bringing you an update from there. Let's listen to exactly what he's saying.
With us, and Benjamin Banobio is telling us that they are very prepared and very ready. In fact, for the printing of the ballot papers for the Akwatia by-elections, which is coming in the next few weeks, the printing of the ballot papers will begin tomorrow, and that is some 2 weeks ahead of the elections. The parties have been raising concerns they have had with elections, with by-elections, particularly with the police. The NPP is telling us that their major reference point was the Ablekuma North election rerun, and they spelled out their concerns, their grievances over concerns of assaults to the police, and the police assured them that it will be dealt with. So they are hoping that within the next 2 weeks before the Akwatia by-elections, the police will take decisive actions in what they call arresting people who were videoed or who were found engaging in acts of violence in the Ablekuma North election rerun. If that happens, then the NPP, they will hold their end of the bargain and, if you like, not go to the Akwatia by-election with their own security.
And you heard the Noble Crosby-Annan. He is my colleague currently at the police headquarters, monitoring that meeting, I suppose, has ended between the police administration and political parties ahead of the September 2 by-election in Akwatia following the death of the MP, Ernest Komi. The engineer of the Insawamo Fanko-Pokwasi stretch has given an 8-week timeline for completion of the first phase, including the provision of pavement for passengers. The engineer returned to site on Monday after pressure on the government to complete the project was stalled for the past 3 months. Apart from the unmotorable nature of the road, passengers also complained of the unavailability of pavements and other diversions, making the road unsafe for use. Let's listen to Abdullahi Mahama speaking earlier on the morning show today.
But just that one of the things that we have to improve on is the traffic management from the contractor and the traffic adherence from the motorists. And then the last one will be the abandoned vehicles on the road and the penchant of people trying to work on their vehicles on the road, like they are turning the road as a mechanic shop.
Right.
Especially the foreigners. What we are trying to say that the motorists and pedestrians along the corridor should just be patient a bit and adhere to the protocols, and the contractor will put up a very good product for them to buy. And in this case, the most the distressed area that went viral in the coming weeks, not more than 8 weeks is even to the extreme. Very in unforeseen weather activities.
And you had the engineer Abdullahi Mahama. He's the consultant in charge of that of Fanko Road, giving us an 8-week notice to complete that project. My name is Beatrice Adu. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon on the Midday News on Shri FM 92.7. Log on to shrinews.com for more news. Good afternoon.
station.
Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7. Coming up, delay in rectifying lithium deal costing Ghana millions of dollars. We hear from Executive Director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, Benjamin Boakye. And government urged to scale up digital investment and expand access to improve domestic revenue collection.
Steps to encourage adoption of digital payments by expanding access to mobile money and digital platforms.
Details of these and many other stories coming up shortly. I am Michael Obodu. Do stay. Thank you so much for your time. Straight into our top story, and Ghana is losing millions of dollars in potential revenue due to delays in ratifying its first lithium mining agreement with Barari DV Ghana Limited. The deal, expected to unlock about $250 million in investments and position Ghana as a key player in the global green energy transition, has stalled in Parliament for years. Speaking at a summer school on governance and extractive industries in Accra, Executive Director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, Benjamin Boakye, warns the country risks missing out on rising global demand for critical minerals, stressing the urgent need to ratify the agreement to ensure that Ghana does not lose out entirely from the green transition mineral.
But the reality around how much we can actually generate from that will have to be tested. I mean, if you're a country that has produced oil, for example, Nigeria raking in billions of dollars, can you get the same from lithium? I doubt that. But we need to then ask the question, if we're not going to get enough revenues from that side, then what are the real conversations in there? As you indicated, we've seen lithium prices drop from about $83,000 per ton in 3 years, 2021, to today around $8,000, $9,000 per ton. So it may not be the mainstream of revenues that can actually change our context. But it could also contribute the way we shape it, link that to industrialization, industrial development, production of energy systems, tapping into the economics of the transition. So we really need to dissect policy to see how it could be properly engineered to bring in the benefit, whilst remaining realistic as to what we can achieve with these new forms of energy and critical minerals that we have.
That was Executive Director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, Benjamin Boakye. Now, the government is being urged to expand digital investment and widen access in order to improve domestic revenue collection. Chief Executive of Telecel Ghana, Engineer Dr. Beatrice Adu, in her opening remarks at the ongoing Society of Women in Taxation 3rd edition SWIFT conference in Accra, observed that although mobile money penetration in the country is recorded at over 100%, actual access remains limited, particularly among women and rural dwellers. She noted that this digital divide continues to inhibit mobile money adoption, which could otherwise play a major role in boosting tax compliance and revenue mobilization. The 3rd edition of the SWIFT conference is being held under the theme Leveraging Technology to Unlock the Revenue Potential of the Informal Sector for National Development.
Digital payments make tax collection more efficient. Unlike physical cash, which is difficult to trace, digital transactions leave a digital footprint, making it easier to access and collect taxes fairly. Unfortunately, adoption of digital payment system remains relatively low across many parts of our informal economy. Awareness is high, but adoption is still low. We must take proactive steps to encourage adoption of digital payments by expanding access to mobile money and digital platforms, creating incentives for traders and consumers to transact digitally, and integrating digital payments into tax systems and licensing processes.
That was the Chief Executive of Telecel Ghana, Engineer Dr. Patricia Adu speaking. Meanwhile, Chairperson of the Society of Women in Taxation, AC Sam, has admonished women to prioritize self-care as they continue to play a critical role in Ghana's informal sector. She stressed that with the right interventions, the contributions of women in this space hold great potential to drive the country's economic development.
This year's theme, leveraging technology to unlock the revenue potential of the informal sector for national development, highlights the vital role we play in shaping inclusive and effective tax system. In many countries, the informal sector is the backbone of the economy, vibrant, resilient, and full of potential, yet underrepresented in our revenue system. This year thing speaks to a national imperative unlocking the revenue generation of the informal sector through technology. As women at the forefront of the administration and practice, our ability to embrace innovation is vital in transforming informal economies and driving national development. By embracing self-love and practicing self-care, we nurture not just our personal well-being, but also the strength and clarity needed to lead effectively.
That was AC Sam. She's the chairperson of the Society of Women in Taxation, urging women to prioritize self-care. Now, Ghana's Treasury bill market is facing persistent weak demand as institutional investors continue to channel funds into higher yielding options such as fixed deposit, repurchase agreements, and the Bank of Ghana's open market operations. This report has the details.
Ghana's Treasury bill market remains under pressure, with weak investor appetite leading to another undersubscribed auction last week. According to auction results, the government raised only 2.73 billion cedis out of the 3 billion cedis tendered, far short of its 4.2 billion cedis target. This covered just 64% of maturing bills worth 3.84 billion cedis, leaving a rollover shortfall. Analysts attribute the trend to a shift of institutional funds into more attractive alternatives, including fixed deposits, repos, and the Bank of Ghana's open market operations, which continue to attract strong demand. In fact, ahead of the August 22nd primary auction, banks alone invested about 8.8 billion cedis in the central bank short-term instruments, further draining liquidity from the treasury market. Despite the weak demand, yields continued to decline across the curve. The 91-day bill dropped by 6 basis points to 10.14%, while the 182-day and 364-day papers fell slightly to 12.23, while the 182-day and 364-day papers fell slightly to 12.23 and 13.8% respectively. Data Bank Research says it expects investor participation to remain subdued in the coming week amid what it describes as modest yield compression.
And that was the 3 Business News Desk report. Now, enterprises operating within Ghana's micro, small and medium enterprise space have been urged to build stronger structures that clearly separate their businesses from their private life. Head of Consumer Banking at Car Bank, Stephen Asian, made the call during an MSME Empowerment Forum, where he stressed that although financial institutions are ready to provide funding for small businesses, the lack of quality business data, largely due to poor bookkeeping, remains a major hindrance to accessing credit. The forum was organized by the Car Bank Women's Banking Unit in collaboration with Vendor Vault, with the aim of equipping entrepreneurs with the tools to scale up their operations sustainably.
The group of people that we have, what they normally forget is that they are different from their business. So you have somebody who uses a personal line for a business line, and there are so many emotions that come out of it. So what we are trying to say is stay focused with your business, and you to yourself, take yourself out of the entire conversation. Make sure your business has structures, and make sure that they are ready to serve customers 24/7.
So that was Stephen Asian. He's head of consumer banking at Cal Bank, bringing an end to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7. For more business stories, please visit our website as 3news.com/business. I am Michael Obodu. Thank you for listening. As always, please stay safe.